Okay, today we're going to talk about lab exercise 9-1. We're going to be talking about how to create an animation using frames and then using the animation filter. So we use the internet uses these animated GIFs all the time. So we're just going to talk about how GIMP's platform will help create them. So we're going to make sure we're in GIMP. We're going to go to File, and we're going to go to actually, before we do that, we need to make sure our backgrounds are set up. That way, it'll give the correct background for our particular animation. So the foreground color is, we'll start with the background. The background color is 03344E. And then the foreground color is going to be 792CF. So now we have those set up, and so we're going to go to File, New. We're going to create a square. It's going to have a width and height of 300, so I'm going to make those changes. And OK. So this is why we changed the background before we created the new, because whatever the background color, that's what's going to appear on your canvas. Alright, so now we're going to get ready to duplicate this layer. And so there's a couple ways we can do that. One is I can right click and click on duplicate layer, and I'm just going to make a copy. And there's a shortcut key down here at the bottom that says create duplicate. And so I'm going to have a total of 5. Once I get done, I'm going to rename each one of these. So I can just double click, frame 1. Make sure you hit enter. That'll rename it. If you don't hit enter, it'll go back to the original. 2. So if I just were to click off this, it wouldn't change. So make sure you hit enter. And I can just double click in here and it'll highlight everything. Alright, so the next thing, we're going to work with frame 2. So we're going to turn these frames off. It doesn't look like anything appears there, but we just turn those transparencies off so we can see frame 2. So they won't cover anything up. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start blending. So make sure we select frame 2, and I'm going to use the blend tool. And I'm just going to go 25% across, so it's going to start with a light blue, and by this point should fade to the dark blue. So now you can see how we got that. Alright. So now we're going to select frame 3 and make sure you turn it on so you can see. So now see how it's covering frame 2. And with frame 3, we're going to use the same blend, but now we're going to go across about 50% of the screen. So this whole thing is 300 pixels, so halfway would be around 150, so somewhere in there. If you hold the control key, it'll lock your line in place and make it go straight. Let's try that. It undid that. I think I messed up my line a little bit. So let's try it again. Hold down the command, go straight across, and let go. Alright, so now I'm done my 50%. Frame 4, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to go 75% across. Same method, control, 75. You can just kind of guesstimate that. And frame Frame 5 will go all the way across. So make sure you turn it on and go all the way across. Alright, so now we're ready to go to frame 5. And we're going to go to the foreground color. We're going to change the white. Okay, we're going to go to text. We're going to change this to sans bold. and our font size to 52. Alright, I'm just going to draw and go all the way across here, and I'm going to also center my text. E class. Alright, so now I have that. It should have added in under the new layer, IE class, the text layer. Alright, with that we're going to go up here to filters, and I'm going to click on animation, and I'm going to click blend. Alright, it's going to give me some options here. And the maximum blur radius, which is how far around here it will blur. And the intermediate frames, we're just going to leave it at 2. And we're going to make sure the loop is checked. We're going to hit OK. And so what it's doing now is it's creating a new image, and it's probably going to, by the time it's said and done, have about 20 frames in it. And when I look at it, we have 20. And so I can go to filters and go to animation, and then I can go to playback just to get an idea of what it looks like. And then this is a little window that pops up, and I can hit play. And so you can kind of see how my animation works. And what the animation, the blend, it'll kind of go ahead and fill in the blanks, and it'll add more frames in there to make it a smoother animation. Alright, so once we've got the preview, what we can do is now we're ready to export. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to click on Export. And make sure we save this as a GIF, and I'm going to name it Miller. You'll add your last name, lab9-1.gif. Make sure it has that file extension, and you're going to hit export. And it's going to give you some options right here, and we want to make sure we click as animation. That's going to make sure all the frames get in there. And I'm going to hit export, and it's exported, and I actually exported it to my desktop, so I'm going to go to my desktop, and it was lab 9-2, I'm sorry, Miller 9-2, and so this is my final quick little animation. Alright. So that is it when it comes to creating that quick animation. Now we're ready for 9-2.